Hey, this is John Johnson, and this is the monthly real estate update, 7/22. A little bit late this month, but we got some good data we're going to be going over. The goal for my business is to find affordable ways for home ownership. The goal for this presentation is to give an accurate representation of current real estate data. I will leave links to where I pull the data in the description. I'm going to go over the national market, I will go over the real estate market, the mortgage market, and the builder market. So the national market, S&P 500. As you can see, we've been going up over the past decent amount of time, around 2,800, where this started off around 01 to now, where we are at 2024. I'm sorry, it started at 2020, and now in 2024, we're close to 5,600. And as you can see, over the past year, anyone that's had their money in the stock market or an S&P 500 or an index fund has seen a nice, decent increase from about 4,400 to 5,600 over that past year. Consumer Price Index, this is a measure of inflation. There's two different versions of it. And as you can see, they've been going down over the past couple of years. So they did reach an extreme high 2 years ago, but they have been consistently going down since that period of time. They're not at the levels where they were at before then, around 2%, but they're still doing decent right now, around 3% when it comes to inflation, which is not bad at all. Unemployment rate, that has still been consistently low. We did have a huge spike once the pandemic happened, which was that gray bar, but it has been consistently low. There has been a slight uptick over the past month or so. Rental data. All right, mortgage market. So the mortgage market is looking, it's okay. We're in the middle of the range. So this is from 1975 to 2020, which is about a 40-year history to 2024. And overall, I'll say we're about in the middle of the market. You know, it was very high in the 80s, hitting 15, 16, 17%. It got very low a few years ago, where it jumped down to about 3% for a lot of buyers. That's why a lot of people refinance and they're not selling their homes as much. But overall, right now, we were sitting at around the mid-sevens range. This is going to change by loan products, how much people are putting down, credit score, etc. But overall, you're going to probably be around 7% when it comes to your average buyer. All right, real estate market. So the real estate market is still doing pretty well, still doing pretty decent. As you can see, the newly listed homes are being priced at around 400. There's about 421,000 new properties that are coming onto the market, which is not what we would need. We have more buyers that are in the market right now, and we have more buyers in the market right now than we had in 2017, 2018, 2019. But we have less homes in the market than we had during those years, which is the reason why homes are still selling pretty high. And in a majority of areas, they are still appreciating. They're still going up in value 4 to 5% nationally. Pending listing, these are homes that are on the market, but they're not really, because they are actually under contract to be sold. And as you can see, we're in the middle of the bar when it comes to the past 6 to 7 years when it comes to homes that are being pending listing. So nothing out of ordinary there. Active listing. These are new homes that are coming to the market. And as you can see, that line is going up. So that's actually a good thing. The news may make it seem as if it's a bad thing that there are more homes coming to the market. But in reality, having more homes into the market is a good thing, because we need more homes for the amount of people that are trying to purchase homes, in my opinion. Days on the market. This is probably one of the best ways to be able to see what's happening with the market and being able to tell if we were in, some sort of recessionary type of market. It's because however long a house is sitting on the market, that means that we don't have enough demand to get it off the market. So as right now, anything underneath 4 or 5 months is considered a seller's market, which means the sellers have a lot of control of the market. It means that the real estate market is healthy. Anything that's above 6 months, about 6, 7 months or higher, that's going to be considered a buyer's market, which means that buyers have more control in that market. And over the past 6, 7 years, we've been in a consistent seller's market. And in the past few years, we've been in an extreme seller's market. It's balancing out a little bit right now. We're now about 45 days for homes being on market. And as it's trending the way it should be trending as well, too, which means at the beginning of the year, homes stay on the market a little bit longer. Towards the summertime, they stay on the market less. And then towards the end of the year, they normally start sitting on the market a little bit longer, because people don't want to put their homes on the market. People aren't buying as much real estate November, December. Median list price. This one is one that you're going to hear about in the news a lot. They're going to say, oh, this market or this place is down 2%, 3%, 5%. Well, we're 0% year over year. And to be honest, that's not a bad thing. It's not showing a depreciation. So it's not like we're down 5%, 10%, or 15%, which will cause alarm bells to ring. But historically, 5% appreciation, 4 to 5% is considered, a balanced year. And the green year, which is 2021, the prices jumped up about 25% overall. In some markets, they even jumped up about 35%. So that massive jump, in my opinion, did deserve a correction. And right now, we are seeing a slight correction. But even with the correction, in many markets, they're still going up. And nationally, we're at 0%. We'll see where we end up when we end the year. But as of right now, to me, this is not a cause for concern, just because of how much we went up in price in 2021. All right, June 2024 regional statistics. So real estate is not a national game. It's not a regional game. It's not a state game. It's sometimes not even a county game. It's a very local game. Whatever's happening in one neighborhood could be completely different than what's happening at the neighborhood across the street from that. But you can get a good picture of what's happening in these different markets by breaking them out into the Midwest, Northeast, South, and the West. So active listing counts. They're all up in all the different counties, or all the different sections of the U.S., but the South is seeing considerably the highest increase of listings, about 50%. I mean, in my area, it's at 100% in the Tampa Bay area, 100% versus last year. So 100% more homes are on the market now than they were last year. The next one that I jump to normally is going to be the median list price. That's going to be how much homes are going up normally. In the Northeast, they're booming right now, 5.6%. They didn't have good years a few years ago. So it kind of makes sense that now it's correcting a little bit higher. But it's not where you think it would be at. Like, the Northeast is really booming in like Vermont, New Hampshire, and kind of those areas that are, outside of your big cities, or outside of your big states. So it's outside of New York, outside of New Jersey. It's really increasing those other areas, which is helping to increase the entire area. And in the South, we are down a little bit, negative 1.8%. But once again, the South was the main area 2 years ago that was going up the fastest when it comes to appreciation. So I don't mind homes coming down a little bit right now. And this is year over year. So by by August, September, November, that could change to where it could be showing an actual appreciation versus the previous year. And then the last one I look at on here is going to be the days on market. And nothing on here is a cause for concern. Midwest is down, which means that homes are selling a little bit quicker. Northeast is down 4 days. Homes are selling a little bit quicker. The South is up a little bit, which means that it's going the opposite direction. Because during the summertime, you normally want to see that number going down. And the same in the West. But overall, though, it's not some astronomical number that's going to change the market by homes sitting on the market 5 days longer. All right. So I live in the state of Florida, so I love looking at Florida data, and this is a very good look at the actual Florida data right now, and it shows the state of Florida and its top counties, which is going to be Duval County, which is Jacksonville, Hillsborough County, which is going to be the Tampa Bay area, Orange County, which is going to be Orlando, and Miami-Dade County, which is going to be Miami area. It shows the actual median purchase price sold from May, which was the month before, and it also shows the growth in the purchase price from the year before. So the state of Florida averages about $420,000 when it comes to the purchase price. You can find some areas that are a lot lower than that. For example, the Ocala area, Jacksonville, and even the Northwest Florida, which would be the Leon County area, and Panama City. But for the bigger counties, the ones that are having 1 million plus people in those counties, you're going to be looking at higher price points in those North Florida. North Florida is probably going to be around, I would say, about the 300K mark. As you can see, Duval County at 324,000. That's kind of like the biggest hub in North Florida, which is Northeast. But the rest of these counties, the bigger counties, they're all in the 400K plus. So you got Hillsborough County, which is Tampa, 410. Orange County, Orlando, 440. Miami-Dade, 535. And the one that's going up the most is Orange County. Orange County is appreciating 6% versus the year before. All right. And so now, yes, this is going to be the number of homes that are actually on the market. So in the state of Florida, we have 201,000 homes that are on the market that as of May 2024. And Duval County, which has the lowest price point, but it also has the least number of homes on the market out of these other big counties at 6,000 homes. Hillsborough County, Tampa, has 8,000 homes that are on the market. And these numbers are changing every single day. But in general, they're going to be around that amount. Orange County, Orlando, 6,300 homes, and Miami-Dade, obviously with the biggest population in the state, has 17,000 homes that are on the market. And the growth, there's about 40% increase in the state of Florida versus last year to this year. So a lot more homes on the market right now. All right. Let's continue. So this is going to be the change in state house prices, but looking at the actual states. You're going to have Vermont, New Jersey, New York, Delaware, Wisconsin. I'm looking at the 1 year average, versus the SA 1 year, which is going to be the numbers versus last year. And this shows you the states that have had the highest appreciation over the previous year. So Vermont, no one would ever guess that, but Vermont has had the highest appreciation this year versus last year. They're at 12%. Then New Jersey at 11%, New York at 10%, Delaware at 10%. And then we start getting some other states that are not in the Northeast. So we got Wisconsin at 9%, Kansas at 9%, Connecticut at 9%. A lot of people a lot of experts are predicting that they think the Midwest is going to start seeing some increase, which once again, you see Illinois, they're normally spoke about pretty badly. You know, they're saying, hey, everybody's trying to leave Illinois and they're trying to come down to these different areas like New Mexico, Arizona, and even Florida. But hey, they're 9% appreciation versus last year, along with Kansas, which is in the Midwest, and some other states as well too. So we'll see how that goes. These are going to be the states that have had the least amount of appreciation, so they've depreciated the most. District of Columbia, so DC at -1%, and the rest of the states are actually positive right now. So Louisiana is 2%, but that's the second lowest. Mississippi 2%, Alabama 3%, North Dakota 3%. So when people talk about there's not affordable places, there's affordable places in the U.S., especially in places like Alabama and the Midwest, places that are not on the coast. If there's a state that is on the coast, the home prices there are going to probably be higher than if they're not on the coast. All right, construction market. Construction market. This is going to be the new homes that are coming onto the market. As you can see, from 2005 to about 2012, builders just completely stopped building homes. There were still people building, but it was an astronomically less number of homes being built. And we've been just trying to catch up over the past 10 years because we've been at a shortage, which is why we're at a shortage of homes right now, in my opinion, is because there weren't these new homes being built. And now, over the past 5 years, we have seen a continued increase, but over the past year or so, it started decreasing again. So that's something to look into because, builders are only working for profit. And so they've decided that they want to be able to push out less units. That's something that could be something to see why that is happening. Manufactured homes, these are my favorite homes. They're very safe and secure. They come at a much cheaper price point than actual stick-built homes. And you can get them to look just like stick-built homes nowadays, or you can make them look like a ranch. You can put one on top of the other. You can make 2 stories. You can completely customize these things and make them as safe and secure as you want them to be. And I love them. And they're built and made much quicker than you get a site-built home as well. But this is production of new manufactured homes. As you can see, we had some big giant years in the 70s and still doing decent in the 80s and 90s. But regulation, with increased security and regulation, caused people to stop building them as much. But they're still a great product, and you still get them at a good price point. They just don't build them as much because the margins are lower than they were in the past for someone who's actually building them. So the average sales price, at the top, we're going to have the single wides, and at the bottom, we're going to have double wides. Single wides is normally going to probably be about 500 to 1,000 square feet, and double wides, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000. But in all honesty, they can go up even higher than that. They can go 3,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet. You can do what you want to do with manufactured homes. And with single wides, it's normally going to be around 80,000 right now for a purchase. This is without land. This is just for the actual property. And then probably about $150,000 for a double wide, which is astronomically cheaper than putting down a new site-built home, or you building the home on site rather than in an actual factory. All right, this is going to be Florida counties mortgage data. So I'm taking that median sold price that these counties had. So Duval 325, that's Jacksonville, Hillsborough, which is Tampa 410, Orange County, Orlando 440, Miami-Dade 535, and I also put New Mobile, so 150K down. Once again, not including the land because that's going to differ in these different areas, different places. But if you're putting 30% down, or if you're doing a 30-year with 5% down, that's going to show you what your potential payment is going to be like with that. So to me, this is a very important thing that I wish every buyer was able to see, because if they could just know the specific areas and what those mortgage payments look like in comparison to the actual purchase price, that can help them narrow down what area they actually want to be in. This doesn't take too much time to do. There's mortgage calculators, but I don't recommend buyers do those because they may put in the wrong information and get a wrong perspective of what the actual price points are. But if you speak to a mortgage person, they can be able to run these numbers for you pretty easily, in my opinion, especially if you've gotten a pre-approval from them where they already have your specific numbers in the system. But in general, these numbers are going to probably be about 90% accurate. Taxes are going to differ. HOA is going to completely throw it off because I might include HOAs in my monthly payments, but I am including a potential principal, interest, interest, and insurance prices when it comes to these numbers. So Duval County, with just a basic 30 or 5% down, probably about $2,800. If you're putting 20% down, that's going to increase your payments to probably about $2,300. And 15-year, which is going to save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest, and that's the mortgage you really want to get towards. You're probably not going to get your first home, but maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 years into it, and you can be able to refinance into a 15-year. Not only are 15-year rates cheaper, the rates are normally about a percentage point lower than they are for a 30-year or even 25 or 20-year mortgage, but you're going to be saving so much more. The only difference is that your monthly payment is going to be higher. So 15-year with 20% down, that's probably about $2,900 a month. If it's not 20% down, it's going to be higher than that. Hillsborough County, I'll just go over the 5% column because that's going to be a lot of your first-time buyers. You can go lower than 5%, but 5% is just a nice round number. So Duval County is $2,800. Hillsborough, which is Tampa, is about $3,400. Orange County, which is Orlando, is $3,600. Miami-Dade will put you at average about $4,400 a month, and New Mobile's $1,300 a month. So in my opinion, if you're trying to find affordable, if you can find land or somewhere to live where you can be able to put a new mobile, especially a family's property, that's going to be your cheapest option. So either a new mobile or either an addition to someone's home. That can work out very well for you. And otherwise, just understand what you can be able to afford in these different places. And if you're trying to live in Orange County, where it's on average $3,600 a month, but you can only afford $2,000 a month, then you may need a roommate or two to be able to offset that actual price point. All right, so in conclusion, financial markets, S&P 500 is steady, hanging around 5,200 the past couple of months. In mortgage, business as usual with rates remaining around their new norm of 7% to 7.5%. Real estate, there's more inventory than the previous year, but homes are still selling quick in most markets. Appreciation may end the year flat or slightly negative, but it's still up 40% plus over the past couple of years. For affordable living addition, I recommend addition to a family home. That could be probably $100K or less, or an ADU, or a manufactured home, which can end up being maybe $200,000 or less. Advice for buyers: find the county city that fits your price point, then find a neighborhood that fits your culture. That's what I would recommend for you. Have a great day.